Right, this is called Brainwash Reverie. I wrote it in 1968. It's a sort of speculative town planning manifesto for the super city of the future, with me as Minister of Town and Country Planning, pity the poor inhabitants. I read it at an event of the Notting Hill Arts and Community Centre, where Christopher Logue was also on the bill, and he heard it and his interest was aroused, and this led to my first publication, Exacting Modality of the World Web, produced by his cafe books, Christopher, in conjunction with the late Bernard Stone. So here we go. This conurbation will stand out as a landmark of streamlined coordination. It is a self-contained, self-nourishing organism. A location has been found containing within 10 square miles a volcanic soil capable of bearing 5,000% the yield of the best Western European artificial soils. It will be possible to produce the entire food supply for a population of millions within the bounds of the municipality. Geographically, the area is entirely in our favour. Around the periphery of the agricultural centre are deposits of every known building material, from basalt to clay. Beneath the quarries are seams of coal and every known metallic ore. Beneath these seams, petroleum beds unfathomable in extent. Finally, there is an infinite hotbed of volcanic energy, which our research teams can fully harness to our use. The town can be constructed entirely from the materials of the locality, its furniture and implements from the coal and petroleum byproducts of the locality. Dwelling, apartments and factories can be built so that building expansion may proceed without inhibition and at the same time without detriment to agriculture. All those people who cannot be integrated elsewhere in the world can be brought in to form a well-balanced and heterogeneous population. There should be enough badly oriented people in every walk of life of every continent to cater for all our needs, scientific, menial, and cultural. The negative and destructive aspects of their personalities can here be brought to an entirely new level of confrontation. Cancel each other out as negatives, turn negative to positive. All physical states, all human actions, and depersonalize the routines, which have, in other circumstances, caused boredom, indifference, and callousness, will here induce feelings of joy, expansiveness, and universal brotherhood. They will genuinely, literally be able to look up to something as a source of the standards they are to look up to. All buildings of administrative and symbolic value will be housed in low-level satellites. The highest of these will be the Municipal Planetarium. A free public stratospherical conveyance service can be in operation 24 hours a day. Every inhabitant will be conditioned to use this observatory as a matter of course, just as elsewhere he or she would use a church, a public library, or the public baths. Because of physical necessities, every person is spatially restricted. Through regular contact with the observatory, he or she can have a sense of community and identification with the interstellar space to which he or she integrally belongs. The service will be complemented by the constant availability of the mines, quarries, and oil wells to public inspection, to remind every inhabitant of the other end of the spectrum. Adherence to astrology, which elsewhere exists piecemeal and in embryo, can here be made part and parcel of everyday life. Because the observatory, centre of astrological research, is situated so near, this can easily be organized. Dwelling places, public buildings, and places of employment can be divided, defined, and tabulated according to the signs of the zodiac, so that every aim, anxiety, and anticipation of each inhabitant can be fully catered for, and the mechanical qualities of bureaucratic welfare departments be lent full personal depth and meaning. In the distribution of accommodation, groupings can be made of people born under signs which react sympathetically to each other, Private apartments can be given the entertainment value of dodgem cars. Walls and floors are to be manipulated by means of mechanized casters, with the result that the size, shape, and degree of elevation of each apartment may be modified at the press of a switch. Let every individual inhabitant at some segmented portion of his or her residence in any given block be afforded access to that room with a view, which is surely his or her most inalienable right. To curtail disruptive congestion, access to the switch will be pre-scheduled by our computers. Naturally, an elaborate alarm system has been devised to give fair warning of any extreme depression of ceiling pieces, extreme elevation of floor pieces, extreme approach or withdrawal of wall pieces. An oxygen tent and a punch bowl will be provided on every second landing adjacent to the fire extinguishers. The gigantic central maternity hospital will have its window panelling and transparent roof constantly open to full view from the observatory. The light from the moon and the stars themselves will shine into the hospital whenever the sky is clear, but hypersensitive reflectors from the observatory will ensure that an extra concentrated dose will be poured in to give the newborn their rightful quota of light and joyous life. The same conditions apply to the sun's beams in daytime. Studied all over the exterior of the observatory will be solar energy lamps, which can pour in a full range of health-giving rays. The airborne edifice will of course be spotlighted and advertised by ground-level searchlights. The outside world of other men and other cities may or may not go on existing. Even if it does, it is an illusion. The real outside world is there, up in the stars, down there in the volcanic masses, in there behind the cranial shell. Although each first-generation inhabitant admitted will enter the conurbation with a clean sheet, some qualities and memories of zones abandoned must for a while remain. Our language laboratories will give them a new speech, a new syntax, may even lead them on to a transistor shorthand of pure sympathetic frequencies. Yet in order to ensure their stability and the final genuineness of their integration, the process must be gradual, and it seems fitting that the memories of their old habits and languages should be made readily available to them, when it is assured that they are really alien and external to their present situation. Let it not be not said that our policy shall lead to insularity, inbreeding, or degeneracy. Criminal and lunatic elements, so called in the zones abandoned, will here function as the main vitalizing forces in our new society. The tendencies of potential murderers can be plotted in mid-gestation, with the help of our astrological team, and the potential miscreants immediately whisked off to a fully equipped public entertainment platform, and so contribute to the personal fulfillment of all onlookers. Acts of arson, housebreaking, and wanton destructiveness will be allowed to run their own healthy natural course. Materials adversely affected by these operations can be replaced from our fully comprehensive standardized stocks, or else will be restored by their own specially injected cell-reproducing culture. Damage to life and limb can be made good in a matter of minutes by our multi-plastic body functioning service. To be attacked or injured can, under these circumstances, become a highly desirable form of entertainment. Theft, both petty and large-scale, can be appreciated for its true value, that of changing the location and personal connection of various objects, thus counterbalancing any tendency towards drabness and excessive uniformity which tends to predominate in planned societies. Confidence tricks, blackmail, and bribery can be referred in anticipation to the astrologers. Distinctions between utilitarian and recreational activities can be minimized, if not finally eradicated. Our computers will push work-study research to its utmost extremities to ensure a perfect coordination of maximum leisure and maximum satisfying occupation at every level. The computers will be programmed from the observatory. All the universe is suffused with the intrinsic elements of time and motion study. A sense of shared infinity gives commonplace phenomena that extra something they so desperately need. New techniques in cerebral surgery will make it possible to adjust seasonally or annually every individual's intellectual capacity to enjoy, in his or her lifespan, a full range of every conceivable status and occupation. and feel as a result a sense of total acceptance and integration in the community. A programmed alternation of sexuality and the ability to assume at will any degree of passion or frigidity can complete the cycle of fulfillment. Yet can this work? Someone will say in panic. What about the animals? What of the predator latent in man? And what about fresh meat? Really, all these questions have been answered in advance. We have a quota of untamed livestock of every species to complement the roles of our integrated criminals and circular fugitives. As for the availability of protein, our beef, pork, lamb and poultry battery block is situated in proximity to our maternity hospital and blessed with the same nourishing illuminations. I think I'm rambling. Maybe I'm talking nonsense. There are some constructive proposals here. All new ideas are treated first as dangerous madness. They'll think twice, perhaps.